Welcome to my second tutorial. This one I will teach you how to do the last two centers on the 7x7. Now before we get started, if you've already tried to do your centers and you just have like one piece that's still up here that you need down here, I'll put an annotation probably around here you can click on, and I'll just show you how to switch individual pieces and finish the centers. Or if you can't click on annotations for some reason, I'll also put the time up here that you need to go to the video to view that material. So this video will be in two parts. The first part I will just kind of do almost like a walkthrough solve for the people. In case you get it then that's fine. You don't have to watch the rest of the video. And then for the second kind of solve, I'll go into depth and show different cases and everything. So if you don't understand after the first solve, that's okay. Just stick around for the second example. And if you understand how to do it after the first example, then you're all set to go. So I guess we'll get started here. And since it's kind of getting close to Halloween, I decided to do orange and black. So here's the black side, and here's the orange side. So I need to get the black ones over here. Now the first thing I'm going to do is create the 1x5 bar. So there are these kind of inner center pieces and then the outer ones. So here's my bar. It's going to be like this. I need an inner one and an outer one. And then I can rotate my bar vertical. And now I need to create the 1x5 bars. I usually like to start with the ones on the outside. So an outer bar, then an inner bar, then an inner bar, then an outer bar. So I see this one's almost complete, and here's the one to complete it. So I'm going to put this one on top of where it needs to go, move it up, turn the top, bring it down. So here's the bar over here, here's the one on this side. So now I can bring this down, switch this up here, and when I bring it back up, it completes the bar. And then I'll go up, grab it, and bring it down. So now you have to do an inner bar, because that's just the way it is. So I see this one is almost complete. I just need to get this one, which is right here. So I'm going to put that one above where it needs to go, bring it up, bring it down, and now I can bring this piece down to the bottom here, flip it, move it back up, and there it completed that bar. And now I'm going to flip this one back over here. Now I can bring that piece in. So now I'm just going to break this. Just break that bar up just to make a better example. So now I'm going to do this inner bar. I see these two, so I'm going to build off this. And so I'm going to first get the center piece. But this one is already over here, so what I'm going to have to do is bring these two down. And now I'm going to rotate this to above where it needs to go. Bring those back up. Now I'm going to bring this down, swap it, go back up. Now I have this much completed. So now I'm going to need a piece to go, I need pieces here and here, so when I move them up, they'll pair up. So I'm going to start with this corner. So I know this corner needs to go right here, so when I move it up, it'll pair. So I'm going to move these edges like this, so I put them out of the way, put this corner in this spot. Now when I bring it down, I can move this over, and this corner will go up to pair, move this out of the way, and bring these back down. So now all I have left is this last one, so I need a piece black here. So as to not disturb this, I'm just going to bring it down. Now I see I have this black, so I'm going to go grab it, so it's down here, bring that 1x4 back out, pair them up, and then I can bring them down. So now for the last 1x5 bar. So I see this one is already mostly completed. Now when you build it, you want to build it around one of these pieces, either this one or this one, which would be these two. So you're going to want to build it around those, but unless that they're already like on one side, you will have to do kind of a special step. So now if I want to pair this one up, as you can see it goes to the top. I'm going to have to put this here so I can move it out of the way, bring this one to the bottom, and I can bring this one up and bring that in. Now there's no way to swap these two pieces using just the normal bars method. So what you're going to want to do is get it so that they're in the same location relative on the two centers. So this one is in the upper right, this one is the upper right. So they're in the same place. So now here's what you're going to do. So it's on the right side. Yours might be down here. Mine's up here. And you're going to take the 4 completed bars and move them up. Now what you're going to do is now you complete this bar. So what you're going to do is do either a U or a U prime. I'm going to do a U prime and then bring this bar down. Now you're going to bring this bar, so now you're going to do the inverse of what you did. So I did a U prime, I'm going to do a U, and now I've moved this back up. I do U prime again, and move that one up, and there's the completion of the centers. Now, if you didn't follow that, that's okay. That was just kind of the quick walkthrough to give you a picture of what we're going to do. However, you may be able to complete the centers just on that information. So, now I'm going to scramble it back up, and we'll do the in-depth review where I talk about different cases and everything. So now will be the solve where I kind of discuss everything I do and do it more like a tutorial instead of a walkthrough solve. So we're going to be creating the 1x5 bars. So the first one involves a centerpiece. So I think I'll do maybe this one, so this way. Now there are 2 kinds of pieces we'll use. There's the ones that are close to the centerpiece and the ones that are far away, I guess. So here's one that's close. Now I'm gonna need one that's far away for right here. So they're gonna be either here, 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 or here. So I see one here. So what I'm gonna do is, so here's the one I need. So I'm gonna move it up so that it needs to go right here. Then I'm gonna move this the centerpiece into its location, and when I bring it back down, it will match it up. Now another way you could do it is to move your centerpiece where you want it to go. So move it into its position, turn the bar out of the way, and then move this side back up, and then you can move your bar back. So you can do whichever you prefer. Now I need one of the inner ones. So I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to move that layer up, put this piece on it, and move the layer back down. Now the last one is an outer piece, so I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to move this layer up, put this one on that layer, and bring it back down. So now I have this bar, I'm going to turn it vertical. Now the next thing we're going to do is create more bars that are 1x5. We're going to need 4 more. Now you can do whichever order you like, but I like to start with one that's on the outside. So I could do this one, but I'm going to do this one in the back just to give a better demonstration. Although if this was a real solve, I would go here, I could just do that to create that bar. So anyway, I'm going to start back here. So this will be the bar that I want to create. And I'm going to move it to the front. So first off, I'm going to need a corner. And the corner is down here. So the corner will, when I move the corner up, it'll be on this side. So I need the empty spot to be on the right. So now I want to move the corner up to here. However, the corner is in the bottom. So if I try to move it up to connect it, the corner is in the bottom, so it doesn't connect. So what I need to do is move this bar that I'm creating on this side over here. So now I can move the corner up into the free space, switch it to the top, and now I can bring it back down without disturbing this because we pushed it to the back, and now this corner is in the top. So now when I move my bar back up here, I can move this corner up and connect it. Now once it's connected, you're going to need to just turn the bar to the outside over here, and you can move these layers back. And I'm going to move this back up here. So there's our bar with the connected corner. So now we're going to need this piece. And I can see this one right here. I can simply move this piece up to connect it, move the bar any way I want, and then move that layer back down just to fix the other centers. And now I can move that bar back. So here's our bar. We just need this last piece here. So what we're going to need to find this piece down here. However, we don't have one. So what I'm going to do is bring this bar down here to this front side. So I'm just going to go up, grab it, and bring it back down. Now I could use either this one or this one. I'm just going to use this one to put in here. So now what we're going to do is we need them opposite each other. So what I'm going to do is get the center piece here for the center of this bar so that they're right above each other. Now you could have this single piece down here and this almost full bar up here. It doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do is move the bar and this piece up. Now I'm going to move the bar out of the way and move it back down. Move that layer back down. So now I have the bar over here and this single piece over here. Now, what I can do is take this piece, bring it down, flip it over down here, and then when I bring it back up, it'll pair up. So I'm going to take the piece, move it down onto this layer, move it down with this row. Now I'm going to flip it to the bottom, just doing this move, and then when I move it back up, it pairs up this 1x5 bar. Now to insert it, I'm just going to slide it over here, go up, grab it, and bring it back down. So now I've created this bar. Now the next thing we need to create is a inner bar. So to do that, I see these pieces are quite close to being completed. So I'm going to move them up here to the working area and fix the centers. So here's the bar I'm trying to create. Now I need a piece for the center here. And as I can see, it's already how we want it, where it's a cross. So all I have to do is go like this, bring this center piece down, flip it around on this layer, bring it back up, and it pairs this up. So now I like to have my bar on this side that I already created, so I'm just going to flip this around again. Now we need to create the final piece in this bar. So what I'm going to do is move it back so you can see if I move this up, it'll pair with this. However, pretend this isn't here, and so if I move this up, nothing will pair. So what I'm going to do is just move this bar back down to its original location. And remember that the piece I need needs to be right here, but pretend this is green. So I'm going to bring it back down. Now I need a yellow piece or orange piece right here. So now what I can do is move this layer up, get one so it's in here, and I move it back down, I'll have a orange piece here. So now I can move this bar back up and then realign the centers. And now when I move it to this location back here, I can pair it up, move this over, and realign the centers. So now I need to just insert it. So I'm going to put it on this side, bring this layer up, bring it back, and carry it down. So there is the first 3 bars. Now the next bar, you can do either an inner bar or an outer bar, although I always like to do an inner bar. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'll base it off this inner bar, which is somewhat created. So I see first I need this centerpiece in this bar. So what I'm going to do is bring this bar down here, kind of like we did before. So I'm going to move this up so I can bring the bar down. Now here's the piece that needs to go in there. So I'm going to move it to directly above where it needs to go. Then move the bar back up, do a turn, and then realign the centers. So now it's kind of a cross from this bar which we're creating. So now I'm going to turn it so our bar is horizontal and our piece is down here. Now I can bring the piece down into this bottom section, swap it, and bring it back up. Now I'm just going to switch this again. So now I've added this centerpiece here. Now what we're going to need to do is we need a piece up here so that when moved up it'll pair here. And that piece is here because it's one of these kind of center corner things. So to get it here, we need this one here so it'll pair up. I'm going to put this bar so it's here. So now when I move this up to grab the center corner thing, it'll push this bar out of the way so we don't damage it. So I'm going to push it out of the way. Now this bar, or this little piece, needs to go in the upper section. So it could either go in the upper part or the lower part. We need it in the upper part. So now I'm going to realign the centers and our bar is still unchanged. So now I can make our bar horizontal again and see when I move this up it'll pair. So I can pair it, move our bar out of the way, and realign the centers. So now I need the final pair piece here. So I'm going to turn it like this. So I need it to be down in this second piece here, so it'll go up and pair. So what I'm going to do is bring this bar down here. So now that the bar is down here, it won't get damaged. I need a piece right here. So I'm going to bring the layer that I need the piece on up. And just rotate this top layer until I have an orange one in this location. Which I do now. So now I can bring this back down. And this bar, we need to bring it back up to the working area. And now I need to move this piece up here. So now we line everything up so it's ready to pair. I can pair it, move the bar out of the way, and move this layer back down. So now the bar is over here and I need to insert it down here. So I can just go up, switch it over here, and bring it back down. So now you're mostly complete, and all that you have left is the final bar. Now what you need to do is start building the final bar. And for reasons I'll explain later, well actually, if you have our bar up here, you can't put this piece in because you would need it to be down here to pair up, and you just can't do that because these are all completed. So I'll talk about this a little later, but make sure you're building your last bar and have it include one of these pieces. So one of the ones that's like one off from the corner. So you gotta include one of those. So I'm going to build it back here because it already has one and it already has a corner in place. So now I'm going to need this corner, so it's down here. So if I want this corner, I'll move it over here so that the corner I need is down here and this is up here. And if your corner is, for example, in this location, so you need your corner down here to match, but your corner's up here, what you need to do is just move the bar to the left so you can move it out of the way to protect it. Move the corner down to where it needs to go, then move this back. So now when you get this bar back to the front here, when you move this up, it'll pair like this, and then you can just move this bar out of the way and bring that layer back down. So now you kind of know this case already, so you're going to need this piece in here. So I'm going to bring this bar down, and now I need to move this to right above where it needs to go, so it's above. Move this up, get it out of the way, bring it back down. So now I need to get this over here, So we go with the bar horizontal. Now I bring this piece down here, switch it around so it's in the top, and now we can bring it back up and we pair it up there. So now I'm just going to switch this back. Now here is the bar as far as we can complete it, and you can't get this piece in there, so I'm just going to bring it down. So now I'm going to teach you how to actually switch these individual center pieces. So here's where a lot of people get stuck. If I want to create this bar, I need a green period, the orange piece to go here, so I need an orange piece here to pair up here. However, since this is a completed bar, we can't do that. So you're stuck with needing to swap two pieces. So what you first want to do is get it so the pieces are in the same location on each center. So I'm going to put it so that they're in the right row on both, so that they are in the same spot on each center. Now what we're going to want to do is first you want to create a bar here. So how we're going to do that is we're going to take the 4 rows that we already completed and we're going to move them up to create this bar here. And now you can do either a U or a U prime. I'm just going to do a U prime. And now you're going to want to bring this bar, just bring it down. And now you're going to do the inverse of what you did. So if you did a U, now do a U prime. Did a U prime, do a U. So I did a U prime. So I do a U. And then you're going to want to bring this other bar with the hole in it up. And now do the inverse of what you just did. So I just did a U, so now I'm going to do a U prime. And then just bring this bar back up. And there you've completed all the centers. So I'm just going to show you this again. So here I am, and I'm going to want to put this on the right row. And as you can see, it's on the bottom this time, so it's down here, up here, does not really matter. So now I'm just going to take the 4 rows and move them up. Now either do a U or a U prime, and then take your completed bar down. Now you're going to want to do the inverse of the U move that you just did. Bring this bar with a hole in it back up, and then bring this over here so you can put that up there, and you are good to go. So I hope I helped you out with this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and I hope you check out my other videos or subscribe if you want more.